Good evening, everyone. We've just had a bunch of really exciting announcements for Tekken 7. Now, as you can tell, it's quite late here in Japan. It's dark, and I'm basking in the glow of my big red dildo, microphone. And I'm not one to make reaction videos as such, but I just wanted to throw my 2 cents on the table because we've seen a lot of stuff, and some of it was really quite cool. Now, we've seen the entirety of Season 3. This content was leaked a couple of days ago, I think through Microsoft or Xbox Live, and when I saw that, I had the same reaction as most people, which was, I didn't know Tekken was on Xbox, but it turns out that the leaks were correct, and the remaining two characters are going to be Ganryu and this new guy whose name starts with an F. If we're going to start there, Ganryu is a character that I made a video about earlier this year, talking about how I wanted him in the game, why I thought he was a very good fit, and so I'm glad that he showed up. The visual redesign makes a lot of sense to me because he used to just wear a purple diaper and he was visually very uninteresting, and they did pretty much what I would have imagined. He needed some more like traditional Japanese flair, and I think they nailed that. He's still a little bit of a silly goose. He makes annoying noises and jumps around, and that might annoy you, depending on who you are, but when he shuts up and actually starts fighting, it's like super dope. And then the new guy is not what I was expecting, probably not what anybody was expecting. The visuals don't really do it for me just because I think they're so busy. There are tattoos and scars and pronounced veins and muscles all over his skin, and it makes it difficult to know where to look, and so visually it doesn't really do it for me, but there are some other really cool and interesting things about the character. The fact that, I guess, Thai military drops him out of a helicopter, and he's kind of like a zombie or a military experiment. He's the size of Marduk, and he's like super scary, and I respect the fact that they actually went with something original that we haven't seen before and explored that, and just went full force into that design and came up with something. And even though it doesn't quite do it for me visually, I think I prefer this more to something that would have felt more like a trope, and definitely I prefer it over something like a guest character. So everything apart from the exterior, he gets a pass for me, and looks really violent and, like I said, like terrifying to play against. In terms of the time frame, we should mention that the big drop of this season is going to happen 4 days from now on December 12th, and that's when we're going to get Leroy, Ganryu, and the frame data feature. And as a content creator, that's really nice for me because it means that the first time I go into practice mode with these new characters, I'm going to have accurate numbers there on the screen. It means that I can give you more accurate impressions of how good the characters are, what moves are good. It's going to speed up the learning process so I can make, half-decent gameplay videos and maybe even guides. So that feels great. Yeah, so that's going to drop on the 12th, and then the Mr. F, the new character, is going to drop with his stage later next year in the spring. We also saw gameplay for all the new characters, the 3 remaining ones, and if we're going to go just left to right, we saw Leroy. He had a lot of gameplay. He basically had his own entire music video, and as a big fan of hip-hop music, I'm going to say that the bars were trash, but everything else about the trailer was really cool. And I don't want to be mean to whoever was rapping on that track. I'm sure he makes fire on his own albums, but Leroy's gameplay looked really cool, kind of what we were expecting, fast successive hits, a lot of parries, looks kind of Wang inspired with the parries and everything. Now, because there's so much of it and he's going to drop 4 days from now, I'm not going to stop the video and go through everything and try and predict what everything is and properties and stuff, because I think it just makes more sense to wait and do that when we actually know. But just overall, it looks super dope. Leroy is, to me, the most visually inspired original character design in this entire game. So, and that's reflected in the way he attacks and moves beautifully. Love the fact that he can use his pimpkin in a couple of his moves. I'm not super excited about the dog. I hope that's not going to be a big part of his design. I hope it's like a gimmick or an item move or something. But I hope it's not like Cosme, where the tiger is actually integrated in a lot of what is happening with him, because I think that kind of cheapens this theme of the lone warrior, And then Ganryu, his gameplay was honestly my favorite part of the entire reveal, because It honestly gave me goosebumps and made me feel warm inside, because it was just really classic looking, old school, dope tech, and the stuff that I love. We have so many crazy guest characters right now, and people who fly around and throw fireballs and lasers. I mean, I play some of them, but looking at Ganryu, it's just this, the sort of core and heart of Tekken moves that I recognize that look really great. So probably out of the new 3 characters, the ones that we have remaining, the one that I'm the most likely to actually be excited to learn and play and get good with. In terms of moves, we saw that he can still do the 100 hands for the wall combo. So warm up your fingers, because that really tires you out if you want to do it, but it's super fun when you land it. He still has his grab where he can tackle you and walk you back and forth, which is really great. We saw his rage drive, and that's something where I will say that rage drive is going to be really quite good. It looked really good, because it looked like a low that you might not be able to see, which means that his mix-up is terrifying when he has rage, but it also looks like he spikes you after the low and can get a guaranteed follow-up, and that is something that you see with some of the most powerful rage drives in the game, like Asuka, Dragunov, Heihachi. It's flexible because you can use it as part of a very powerful mix-up, and if it connects, you get like a combo worth of damage. But if you launch your opponent with something else, you can spike them, and then you can extend your combo damage by so much that a combo that wouldn't have killed starts killing, and that's super great. It's something that you do not see, that kind of flexibility in shit rage drives like Miguel's. So I think the rage drive is going to be good, but overall, I'm happy he's back and he looks great. And if you're not familiar with like old school classic Ganryu, you might think he's goofy because he's a big fat guy, but there's some serious power, some seriously interesting and fun to use pokes, some of the best lows in the game, great range, high damage, above average grappling, and in Tekken 5 he was considered pretty much the best, or one of the best characters in the entire game, so there's some potential power in the character as well. So don't sleep on this. I think Ganryu could be huge splash and super interesting and fun to play character in the season. Pretty much the one I'm looking forward to the most. And then the last one, Mr. F, we didn't see a whole lot, and the whole gameplay thing for him had the feeling to me was that a lot of it is unfinished and still being worked on, which it probably is. So there weren't any, long, crazy combos. The Muay Thai stuff looks really dope. There's some really interesting and strange looking stuff in there, but I want to wait for something a little bit more in-depth and chewy before I give you any impressions of how he's actually going to function, what kind of character he's going to be. Looks like he's going to be huge and do giant amounts of damage. That's what I'll predict. I love the fact that the new stage seems to have, it looks like it's going to have both floor and balcony breaks. I love both of those features. They're super fun to work with. They're super fun to combo with. I wish they were on more stages. I wish we had fewer infinite stages and more, break something stages. So love that. And I mean, what a great thing to have a cool Muay Thai character revealed in Bangkok in front of the Thai audience with his own stage and everything. That part of it was obviously super dope. So the only negative thing I can really say looking at all of it here is that I'm sad that there's no Kunimitsu. Means that she's not going to be in Season 3, maybe not in Tekken 7 at all. But out of the 3 characters on my wish list for this season, Zafina, Ganryu, and Kuni, I got 2 out of 3, so I'm still very happy about that. And just looking at the lineup on the screen right here, first of all, Zafina, in my opinion, by far the best redesign of any legacy character in the entire game. Reasonably well balanced, very fun to play, interesting deep gameplay, amazing to look at. Love the new gimmick with the hand and everything, so they nailed that. It's one of the best jobs they've ever done, in my opinion. Leroy, my favorite and most inspired original character design in this game. Ganryu, an old Tekken classic returning, which is super dope. A feature that Tekken players have been asking for so long, finally coming for the game. The whole $4 thing sucks, and we've talked about that. And then a new character who, while he doesn't land for me visually, I'm sure is going to excite a lot of people. And I'm going to say this about this new character. Harada got a lot of shit around the reveal of Lucky Chloe. Like, what's wrong with you Japanese guys and these cute young girls with their tiny bikinis and ears, and they're like super cutesy, and it's just fucking sticky and annoying. And he kind of, there was a bit of backlash from Harada to the community saying, okay, I'm just going to make something ridiculously badass than just to placate you. And I think this might be it. I think this might be, you know, just everything that's badass and scary, you know, the face and the scars and the everything. He's just gone. It's like the anti-Chloe, and that's going to appeal to a lot of people, and they're going to love that. So yeah, it's interesting to say the least. I'm sorry there's not a whole lot of like meat and potatoes in terms of information in this video, but I want to do all of that on the 12th or after the 12th when I know more and I have actual gameplay and we can play together and fuck around in game. That's going to be the fun, really informative stuff. But for now, just wanted to do something for my viewers, letting you know that I have seen this. This is how I feel about it. Let me know how you feel about it. Hopefully you're excited about this. And apart from Cootie not being in, Season 3 has been an absolute triumph. And now we're just hoping for that next balance patch, actually bringing some serious needed balance updates for the game. And then I think it's in an amazing, amazing spot. But for now, thank you so much for stopping by for this short video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye for now.